So really interesting to sort of like hear about your the quality focus in your training. And I always like hearing when athletes aren't killing themselves in training with loads of volume, because I think it's so important that you're feeling good when it becomes time to compete. And I think you're more likely to be feeling good off what I would call like a sensible training load, nothing excessive, more so than when you've been beating yourself up session after session, 3, 4, 5 days a week in training. You're probably not going to feel very good when it comes time to race. So I'm really happy to hear kind of about the way that you and your coach approach things. But I want to kind of switch the focus a little bit to some of the technical aspects of training, technical aspects of running. So what are some of the things, or are there any cues where you feel like that this is something that when I think about this, when I'm running, or my coach has told me something when I'm running, and this has really made a difference to my technique and helped me to run faster?
Yeah, so the good thing about me when I got to WT was my coach back in Ghana focused really more on the techniques aspect with me. So my form was good. I mean, when you watch my races, see my form is good. I have the knee lift and everything. Mm-hmm. So the coaches in WT were really happy with that. And then as I speak to you now, the coach that coached me in Ghana is also a volunteer coach in WT. They were able to bring him here to come help WT. Yeah. And so he kind of like help people that really need like the technicalities and all that. But aside that, with me, I have the assistant coach also helping me with my technical stuff. Like, I've had problems with my blocks and everything. So he kind of like give me cues, like, sometimes, the major thing he tells me when I go into the blocks is just to think about my first 2 steps and not to really focus on the gun. I should think of like what I have to do with the first 2 steps when the gun goes off. And with that, my body is just going to react to it. You understand? So like that has really been like my focus. And also aside that, like when I'm in my top end, I have to really stay relaxed and everything, because the moment I tense up, then it's gonna break my form, and then people are just gonna be passing by me and all that. So it's kind of like just whatever that I've known is just all the things they are really really shaping me into, like giving me cues and all that. And then aside that, I personally they normally film me on my top end speed to measure the speed at which I'm going and all that, just to really know where I'm at, and things to focus on when I'm upright and all that. I used to lean back a little bit, but now it's really getting corrected and all that. So those are the kind of things that we're really working on. But the major thing is just about the start and how to get everything together, because I don't really have a problem when it comes to the second part of the race, but just the first part, and that is where I really need to work on.
So you mentioned like not worrying too much about the gun, and I remember hearing it was my old coach from my club back in the UK, where he'd said, don't worry about the gun. You're going to hear the gun. You don't need to be listening out for it. Like no matter what happens,
exactly.
You're going to hear it. And it's the same kind of thing.
Yes.
But so you spoke about your first 2 steps. What is it that you feel like is important on those first 2 steps? What are you thinking about doing on those first 2 steps?
So it's more about getting the second step really down faster, rather than just trying to recover the second step. So when I take my first step, normally I'll just recover the second step instead of like really getting it down fast and also pushing. So that has been like the main cue. Yes. So rather than just recovering the second step, you have to really push it. And also I normally don't flex the second step, my toe, I don't flex it. It's just like this, and then it hits the ground. So I have to, make it a little bit like this, and to be able to, to push the ground back. So those are just the cues that I'm really working on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's really interesting. So kind of your 2 sort of areas for development would be that, and then you're working on your posture when you're in your upright sort of max velocity.
When I'm up, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's really interesting. Thank you. So obviously, life away from the track influences how well you're able to perform on the track, and recovery is very important, and things like sleep and nutrition in particular. How closely are you monitoring sleep and nutrition, and and if it is closely, what sort of strategies do you have in place to kind of help with those aspects?
Yeah, with regards to recovery and stuff, and nutrition, first I'll start with just sleep because you need more sleep, of course. Because I'm schooling, so normally you have homeworks and stuff. So maybe sometimes you kind of like it takes time for, let's say you go deep in the night where you sleep like 12, but that's just very rare with me. So when I'm in school, I sleep around. I try to be in bed by 10 p.m. because I'll be up by 7:30 to get ready for class at 8.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I try to get to bed at 10 and then wake up around 7:30. And then also with regards to food, the good thing is I don't really eat more of the American stuff. I live with the Ghanaian guys. So we kind of make our own dishes and all that. So, and back home too, we are not introduced to this McDonald's and those stuff. So we are not used to it here. We still eat our normal foods like the rice and chicken and our local foods. We are able to get the ingredients here to make them, which I think they are really healthy. And then aside that, I have supplement that also, help me with recovery and, and all that. And then I also, of course, see my physios and, massage therapists for, to recover.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's that. So what it sounds like is it's just sort of very much sort of like a common sense approach, like touching all bases. You're not getting too sort of analytical or neurotic about it. Like you're not wearing a sleep tracker or anything like that. I know some athletes they like to wear a sleep tracker. Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that just like I say, kind of doing the basics and doing them well. I think nutrition. I think it's so. Exactly. I mean, when I hit, I'm not a nutritionist or anything, but like sometimes listen to nutrition podcasts or read nutrition articles, and quite often when they're talking about a bad diet, they're talking about the standard American diet, and they're saying that's a bad diet. And I think that one of the things, even coming from the UK, which culturally, obviously, it's got a lot of similarities to the US, but you see kind of all the different types of flavor of, I don't know, breakfast cereals or whatever they have in like Walmart and stuff here. And you just look and you think that can't be, to me, it doesn't look like it's good quality food. So like doing your home cooked stuff from West Africa, from Ghana, I think that's fantastic. And you sort of like avoid some of the pitfalls that maybe the American supermarkets and the American restaurants can sort of offer you. So I think that's really interesting. Thank you. So I just want to finish off with a question about your favorite and least favorite track sessions. So to be fair, it doesn't sound like any of them are too horrific, but if if your coach said to you, okay, Ben, today it's up to you. You can choose whatever track session you want to do. What are you gonna say you want to do?
I'll probably do a 90, 80, 70. That's my favorite.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
So my fast upright running.
Yes. I want to, have my top end and see what time I'm dropping and all that. I love it, I just like the section. Mm-hmm. And then talk about the least favorites, I'll choose the 250, three 250s and having to walk back to 50 meters and you run it there and like, nah.
I thought you might say that.
It's not really nice. I don't okay. I don't like that now.
And so sorry, I just want to kind of question about the recoveries in those sessions. So if you're doing the 90, 80, 70, roughly how long would you take rest between each of those runs?
So it's from 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like basically like just fully recovering and then come to do it again, 100%. Yeah. Yes.
And then,
because as I said, you want the quality.
Yeah. Okay. And we may have covered this earlier. I can't remember. Did you say for the 250? So you literally do the 250. So let's say you've got the 250 plus 550s in that set. You're doing 250, walk back to the 50, run 50, walk back, run 50, walk back. Is that how the one set would go? It's just with walk back recovery between the runs?
Yeah, with walk back, to the 50 mark. Yeah. It's just a walk back.
Yeah, okay.
And then after everything, say 8 to 12 minutes. And then you come to do the second set like that. Yeah. Yeah. So the walk back is just the rest. So that's pretty tough.
Yeah, 100%. I can imagine. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. You've been a great guest. You've given some great answers and great insight, stuff that I've certainly found helpful. And I hope anybody that listens to, I'm sure they will find it helpful as well. Before we go, are you able to just sort of plug your social media so that if anybody that's not following you on Instagram, etc., wants to, that they know where to find you?
Yeah, so social media with my Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, everything. Just search my name, Azamati Benjamin, and then you're gonna find me.
All right, cool. Well, I'm not on TikTok. I'm a bit old for TikTok, but yeah, I'll make sure that I put that in the show notes as well, so that anybody can find you on social media. All right, Ben. Well, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today again. Good luck on Friday in Paris. That will have already have taken place by the time this episode comes out. But yeah, also good luck for the rest of the European season, and then looking forward to seeing obviously what you do in Budapest at the World Championships this coming August. All right.
All right. Thank you very much, David.